Have you ever felt like the world is spinning too fast, and you're stuck pretending to keep up? Like you're smiling on the outside, but inside, there's a storm no one sees. Maybe it's the constant pressure to be available, to respond, to perform, to meet expectations that were never yours to begin with. And in those rare, quiet moments, a haunting question whispers through the noise: is this really living, or just surviving? In a world that rewards outrage, that celebrates noise, and constantly pulls you away from yourself, what if I told you, there's a way to live, unshaken? A way to wake up with clarity, move through your day with purpose, and sleep at night with peace. That way is Stoicism. But not just the quotes you see on Instagram. Not just, be like a rock. I'm talking about building a real Stoic lifestyle. One you can practice every single day, in the way you handle anger. In how you show up in relationships. In how you deal with fear, failure, even success. Why do we need it now more than ever? Because we're flooded with noise. Because we're ruled by notifications, comparison, and outrage. Because the modern world profits from your emotional reaction. But Stoicism? It teaches you to slow down. To observe before you react. To become unshakable, not by avoiding storms, but by becoming the kind of person who can walk through them, untouched. So if you've ever wanted to build a life of calm confidence, if you've ever wondered how to train your mind like a warrior, if you're tired of being thrown around by every small crisis, then this video is for you. We're not just going to talk philosophy today. We're going practical. Real-world tools. Habits you can start today. To build your Stoic lifestyle, piece by piece. So take a deep breath, and let's begin the journey toward the strongest version of you. But before we dive in, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Because every week, we build wisdom, resilience, and peace, together. Now, let's begin. Tip number 1. Own your morning. Before you let the world in, own your peace. If your phone is the first thing you touch in the morning, you've already lost. The world starts writing your story for the day, and your emotions follow it blindly. You begin your day reacting, not responding. But you can reclaim control. Wake up and ask yourself, what do I want today to feel like? What chaos might come, and how will I respond? Even 15 minutes of stillness, breathing, stretching, sitting with your thoughts, can reset your nervous system. Modern life demands you to be on from the second your eyes open. But the Stoics? They taught something different. Something powerful. They believed your morning is sacred. And if you want to master your life, you must first master your mornings. Marcus Aurelius reminded himself each morning, you will meet people who are rude, selfish, and ignorant today. Be ready. Start your day with awareness, not alarm. Own your morning, and you own your life. Tip number 2. Train your body, train your mind. Here's a hard truth. You can't build a strong mind in a weak body. You can journal. You can read Stoic quotes. But if your body is soft, your discipline will crack under pressure. When stress hits, when anger rises, when fatigue sets in, what's your defense? Your body. Your habits. Your physical resilience. The ancient Stoics knew this well. They didn't sit around intellectualizing philosophy, they lived it through movement, hardship, sweat, and control. Seneca, one of the most powerful Stoic voices, said, "We must take care of the body, not as if it were to last forever, but because a sound mind must be housed in a sound body. Let that sink in. A sound body is not vanity. It's vitality. When you train your body, when you move through discomfort, you're not just burning calories, you're burning weakness. You're building inner command. No, you don't need to be a bodybuilder. You don't need to post selfies at the gym. You just need to move, with discipline. And with intention. Try this daily. Walk 20 to 30 minutes, preferably in silence, do push-ups, squats, planks, stretching. No machines. Just body and breath. Subscribe if you're serious about building a Stoic life. Tip 3. Journal and affirm with brutal honesty. Let's start with a confession. Most people don't know who they really are. They know their job title, their followers, their resume. But when the noise fades, and they're alone with themselves, there's confusion. Emptiness. A feeling like, I don't really know what's driving me anymore. The Stoics had an antidote for this: daily journaling. Not to look productive. Not to inspire others. But to confront the truth, raw and unfiltered. You see, journaling in Stoic practice wasn't decorative. It was discipline. Marcus Aurelius wrote meditations not for the world, but for himself. Private. Honest. Messy. Introspective. He asked himself, what am I doing with my soul? Am I acting according to nature, or just reacting to circumstance? He didn't flatter himself. He corrected himself. That's the point. Tip 4. Protect time with family and friends. We often say, life is short, but we live like we'll have infinite tomorrows with the people we love. We cancel the dinner. We rush the phone call. We say, maybe next weekend, and it never comes. But the Stoics knew what we forget: every moment with someone you love is on loan from fate. Seneca, the Roman Stoic, once said, it is not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste a lot of it. He warned that time is the only thing you can't earn more of. And the people you love? You don't know how many more mornings, laughs, or hugs you'll get with them. We sit at dinner, phones in hand. We nod through conversations while mentally checking emails. We text, I love you, but never really show it. And one day, they're gone. And we realize the messages didn't matter. The presence did. The Stoics remind us to be fully present with whoever is in front of us. So when you're with family, be there. When a friend calls, listen, don't multitask. When your child wants to talk, pause everything else. This is not just kindness. This is wisdom. Tip 5. Give yourself time to be alone. In a world that never stops talking, being alone has become one of the rarest forms of power. We chase noise. We drown in content. We scroll to avoid silence. But here's the truth. If you can't sit with yourself in stillness, you'll never understand who you are, or what you truly need. The Stoics understood this deeply. Most people are terrified of being alone, not because of the silence, but because of what they might hear in it. In silence, your masks fall. The doubts rise. The regrets speak. And the truth whispers, are you living your life, or just reacting to it? We distract ourselves to avoid this confrontation. But avoidance is not peace. It's fear wearing a smile. The Stoics didn't fear solitude, they sought it. because it was in silence that they recalibrated their soul. Seneca said, "We should every night call ourselves to an account. What infirmity have I mastered today? What passion opposed? What temptation resisted? What virtue acquired?" But to do that, you need space. Mental space. Emotional space. A quiet corner in a loud world. Tonight, before bed, or first thing tomorrow, be still. Even 10 minutes. Sit with yourself. Ask nothing of the moment, and let the moment speak. Then return here and comment, "I made space for my soul." And if this gave you something valuable, subscribe. Tip 6. Detach from what you cannot control. Have you ever lost sleep over something you couldn't change? A decision someone else made. An outcome you hoped for but never got, a conversation that replayed in your head 100 times. We all do it. We obsess. We overthink. We grip tightly to what was never ours to hold. But the Stoics knew, this is the root of suffering. And the cure is detachment. Epictetus, a former slave turned Stoic master, taught one of the most powerful ideas in philosophy: some things are in our control, and some things are not. Do check my other video which he called it the dichotomy of control. The link is in the description where he mentioned what we can or we cannot control. Detachment isn't apathy. It's engaged clarity. It says, I will give my best effort, but I refuse to suffer over what I cannot bend. The world will tell you that letting go means giving up. The Stoic knows the opposite is true. Letting go of what you can't control means, you protect your energy. You stay focused on your role. You become emotionally bulletproof. You don't collapse when others disappoint you. You don't unravel when plans shift. You adjust. You accept. You act from within. That's power. Tip 7. Master the art of silence. Sometimes, the most powerful thing you can say is nothing at all. In a world obsessed with speaking, posting, defending, arguing, reacting, the rarest voice is the one that knows when to be silent. The Stoics didn't just teach about silence. They lived it. They practiced it. They used it as a weapon, and as a shield. Think about this. How often have you said something in anger, and regretted it later? Or tried to explain yourself to someone who didn't deserve your energy? Or reacted too fast, only to realize, too late, you misread everything? Silence prevents that. Seneca said, silence is a lesson learned through life's many sufferings. Because silence isn't weakness. It's mastery. Check my other video 7 reasons you should stay silent, the link is in the description. There are moments in life where silence speaks louder than explanation. When someone insults you, and you don't defend. When someone gossips, and you don't join in. When chaos swirls, and you stay still. People wonder, why isn't she reacting? Why isn't he engaging? That mystery, that self-restraint, commands more power than any loud voice ever could. Marcus Aurelius, a man with absolute power, still wrote, "You always own the option of having no opinion." There is never a need to turn things upside down inside out because of what others say or do. Tip 8. Limit what you consume. Here's a truth no one tells you: your mind is not a storage box. It's a garden. And whatever you plant, will grow. Feed it negativity, fear, gossip, chaos. And don't be surprised when your life starts to reflect that. We live in a time of unlimited consumption. Content, news, opinions, outrage. But the Stoics, thousands of years ago, warned us about this very thing. They knew, what you allow in, will shape what comes out. Think about your average day. How many times do you scroll without intention? Watch things that make you anxious or angry. Absorb opinions that aren't even yours. Each of those inputs is a thread, and enough threads. They weave your reality. Marcus Aurelius said, "The things you think about determine the quality of your mind." Your soul takes on the color of your thoughts. So ask yourself, what color is your soul turning into? The Stoics weren't content junkies. They were intentional thinkers. Epictetus taught his students, don't explain your philosophy. Embody it. Here's what happens when you don't limit your input: you become reactive. You become anxious. You lose clarity. And then you wonder, why am I so tired? Why do I feel unmotivated? Why do I feel like I'm falling behind? Because you've been feeding your mind junk food. Here's a simple 3-step Stoic mind detox you can start today. Unfollow accounts that trigger envy, outrage, or emptiness. Your attention is not a donation, it's an investment. No news before breakfast. No scrolling before bed. Start and end your day with your own mind, not someone else's noise. Books, philosophy, nature, reflection. Seneca said, associate with people who are likely to improve you. If you can't find those people in person, find them in books, in teachings, in silence. Tip 9. Practice one act of courage daily. Courage isn't loud. It doesn't always look like a hero charging into battle. Sometimes, it's whispering "do it anyway," when every part of you wants to run. The Stoics knew that courage wasn't rare, it was simply neglected. It's not something you're born with. It's something you build. And like any muscle, it grows through daily use. Epictetus said, "You will do the greatest service to the state if you shall raise, not the roofs of houses, but the souls of citizens." And how do you raise the soul? By choosing courage. Daily. On purpose. Not once a year. Not just when it's convenient. Every single day. You want confidence. You want peace. You want self-respect. It starts with courage. Seneca said, sometimes even to live is an act of courage. And he meant it. Because life will push you. People will doubt you. Fear will whisper, stay small. Stay silent. Stay safe. But the Stoic trains themselves to say, I see the fear. I move anyway. Tip 10. Practice daily kindness and help. We often think of strength as power, as dominance, as control. But the Stoics knew, true strength is found in compassion. In a harsh world, kindness isn't weakness. It's rebellion. It's courage, it's clarity of character. Marcus Aurelius, the Emperor of Rome, one of the most powerful men in history, wrote this to himself: when you wake up in the morning, tell yourself, the people I deal with today will be meddling, ungrateful, arrogant, dishonest. But I will not be harmed by them. And then, he still chose kindness. Why? Because a Stoic doesn't react based on how others behave, a Stoic acts based on who they are. You don't wait to receive kindness, you become it. We live in a world of division. where helping others is rare, unless there's something in it for you. But here's the truth: kindness heals trauma. Kindness disrupts ego. Kindness breaks cycles of abuse, shame, silence. You never know what battle someone else is fighting. A kind word, a small gesture, could save someone's hope today. And that's not poetic. That's real. In helping others, you stabilize your own spirit. You feel grounded, grateful, needed. Kindness reminds you that your life isn't just about what you achieve, but what you offer. So now you've heard the 10 Stoic habits that can transform your life. Not trendy hacks. Not toxic positivity. But deep, timeless disciplines, built by warriors, emperors, and philosophers. For real people like you, living in a chaotic, modern world. From owning your morning to mastering silence. From detachment to daily courage. From strengthening your body to softening your heart with kindness. These aren't just practices. They're anchors. They hold you steady when the world tries to shake you. And here's the truth: you won't get them perfect. You'll forget. You'll fall. You'll feel like it's too much sometimes. But each day you return, each day you try again. You get stronger, wiser, freer. Because the Stoic path isn't about becoming untouchable, it's about becoming unshakable. If this video stirred something inside you, if even one of these habits made you pause, reflect, and think, "I need this in my life," then take the next step. Subscribe for weekly Stoic insights to sharpen your mind and ground your soul. Like this video to tell the algorithm that depth still matters. Comment below, "I'm building my Stoic life." Let's build this journey together, one habit, one day, one breath at a time.